accumulate and potentially get a very large development. That's the only reason they consider it. They have, as he said that night, received some grant money to now go in and start purchasing properties, whether they be residential or commercial, but they have not at this time ventured into buying any properties.
I'm just asking these questions because I remember one of the main concern was once they have taken in the property, who would then be the owner of that property? I know it would be away from, it would not be the village of Dolton, but who would move it? You know,
We'll use, for example, the one we just described, the 14700 Harvard. Currently, or in the very near future, the land bank will become the owner of that property. The land bank is not in the development business. They are in a holding. They are out looking for development. So when they would find a developer, they would negotiate a deal to sell, donate, contribute, whatever the deal is, that property to a developer, pending the approval of the board of directors that control that organization. Once that is approved, then let's say it's XYZ development company that wants to open ABC laundromats. That's who would own the property after that. And then it becomes part of the tax rolls. It's the simplest way to describe the organization, I believe, is that this is a collective economic development corporation for South Cook County.
Yeah, Mr. David, so you accept this here. When will Southsburg Land Bank owner need to accept it?
They would take this to their board. They've already presented that we are interested. They would have to ratify it. I do not know the date of their next meeting. Can we get that for you? I'm assuming that it's very similar to ours if they meet once a month, but I don't have the exact date tonight.
So we will, they would have 1 or 2 individuals on the board.
They allow one individual on the board. They do not allow 2 people for any committee.
One individual. Correct. So when we have to pick that individual?
That would be up to the mayor to make the appointment and then for this board to make the consent of that appointment. I only say that after having discussions with Mr. Murphy and Mr. Vasali, appointments are made by the mayor, whether they're for the Police and Fire Commission, but they are approved by the board by consent. That's the way it has to be by the state, not this organization.
So that's appointment, and then we go to, we want to set an
Just
individual.
as using myself, my position was an appointment by the mayor that was brought forward, and the board voted for that appointment. They could have voted yes, they could have voted no. Fortunately, they all voted yes.
So how soon do we need to make that on?
That's up to the board. There is no requirement in their bylaws that says it has to be done by a certain date.
so can we amend the motion and make the motion to vote for the appointment tonight with approving this?
I would defer to legal counsel if that
You
can
want
be
to
done.
defer?
But we're not in yet.
I know, I'm asking a question, so we can't do it until they pick.
I think it would be premature until they've acted to bring us in. That's all, then once we're in the organization, we have to appoint somebody to participate. But this motion is for this board to tell the bank that the village wants to become part of the Inland Bank. And at their next meeting, we will meet with them consensus. And then at that point, we become a member of the bank. Bank board.
And do you have a date on when?
Stan said he doesn't know.
I don't know. I can call Russ tomorrow
And
and
y'all
find
send
out.
it to the trustees, let us know.
As soon as I get it, I will forward it on to all the trustees and the mayor and the attorneys.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Trustee Danielle?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith? Aye. Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Motion carried, 6-0.
Next item on the agenda would be C, red light camera enforcement. As I discussed at predecessor put out an RFP months ago, received documentation from company Red Light Camera, Safe Speed and Red Speed. Red Speed is the current vendor for the cameras in this town. Safe Speed, hands down, demonstrates that they would generate not additional but fair revenue because their fees are nowhere near as exorbitant as Red Speed. The difference, just very briefly, is for a 12-month period, the village took in $25,248.71. For that same period, if you were with Safe Speed, you would have realized $87,571.69. I've had Attorney Murphy review the current contract. We would just have to send a letter giving the current vendor notification that we were canceling the contract, and we would enter into the agreement that you would be voting on tonight. That letter would be generated by Mr. Murphy. Once this, if it is passed, we would send off the letter to the current vendor, and we would have the new contract executed so that they could get to work on getting the cameras up as quickly as possible. Staff would recommend making a motion to accept this or enter into this agreement.
I make a motion that we enter into this agreement with Red Light Camera Enforcement.
Second.
The move is seconded to enter this to the agreement with Safe Speed. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call.
Trustee Danielle?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Henyard? I'm sorry, Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Hager?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. Next item is being brought forward by, I'm sorry, lost my place, is item D. It is a ordinance that would amend our current water billing procedures. This was brought forward by Trustee Henyard. I believe you all received documentation from Mr. Masali's office tonight. It's up there somewhere. Staff would recommend entering into changing this amendment as presented.
You know, this ordinance number 14-013, water ordinance.
I'll
Water
make
bill.
a motion to approve ordinance number 14-013.
Second. It's been motion to approve ordinance number 14-013 and second. Any discussion? Okay. We were just provided with this ordinance at 7:50. There were some significant changes. Your trustee's attorney are here. Can you highlight those changes to this ordinance?
I just see one. They are underlined. You got a revised copy and then a regular copy. And everyone has this ordinance last week. This is just a printed out version of it.
For the benefit of the residents that are here, can you read the ordinance? Or the significant
I can
changes?
explain it. All this is something I'm not going to read word for word. Basically, what I'm implementing is to put the water bill in a tenant's name. If you rent from someone in the village of Dolton, the tenant and the landlord can go to the village and get the water bill in the tenant name. Basically, it's making people accountable, it's making people responsible because when the bill is in your name, you normally pay it. If it's in the landlord's name, you normally don't pay that either. That's really all this ordinance is saying. Basically, it's also bringing money to the village, which before we wasn't getting $25. They have to put down a security deposit of $25 in order to put the name, the bill in their name. It's really
Trustee Henyard, I read through the ordinance and I cannot find the $25.
Yeah, I'm gonna amend it.
Oh, okay.
Add the $25 into that, yes.
Okay, because I was going to say I didn't see that. Okay, thank you.
And this stays with the property.
it stays with the property. For instance, if the tenant moves in the middle of the night, the person that owns the property is still responsible for the bill. If the person that owns the property no longer owns the property or whatever happens to that person is still attached to that property. No matter what, the village gets paid, no matter what. It's basically just making people accountable for their bills. That's it, that's all. I basically copy what Calumet City does now. Calumet City implements the same system, and they charge $25 for a down payment, which allows them to get some type of revenue. For instance, I think we found it easy math. If there's $100 that's owed on the bill, you basically get a final reading, $25 go against that $100, which the village never had before. So now they only have to pay $75 to clear out their balance.
The problem is, the balance is never $100.
That's it. I said simple math. I want to give you examples so everybody can follow. That's it. I'm not saying it's high or low. It can be $500. It can be whatever. Simple math.
Go
ahead. I don't understand what the argument is.
There's no argument. You had just said one thing. Our basic bill is $108, $103, which includes the sewer, the water, and the garbage. Now, it's multiple functions to put this into the tenant's name. You put it in the tenant's name. We're way behind on our technology in regards to the software and the computer stuff that we have in the water department. So the tenant comes in, it's in the owner's name from the beginning. We change this tenant, we have to change the water bill, which is a data entry process, to the tenant's name. And then the tenant moves out, we have to change it again. If the tenant moves out and leaves the balance, we have to change it again and chase the tenant in for the landlord for the money. It's this multi-function, and we don't have enough personnel in the water department now, and we don't have the technology in the water department to actually take on those additional
I think we do, and I think that's the problem. We like to keep everything old. We need to get with the times. So that's why that's why I'm on this board, because I like to implement the stuff that other villages implement and it's working for them. I do believe this will work for the village, and I do think that the board is in agreement with this.
There's a cost for implementing it. I'm not saying we shouldn't do things to advance the progression of the village. I'm just saying there's a cost of doing things, and when you've got a village like Calumet City that has 37,000 residents versus our village that has 23,000 residents, and also we're looking at a $16 million budget in comparison to a larger budget in Calumet City, which they may be able to afford to do this thing. And there's a cost here every time, whatever we change, there's a cost here. And which requires also manpower personnel. That's all I
in
got
my
to say.
report, you're not even what else to go. So that has to change.
Any further discussion? Okay, go fine.
Can I amend my motion to add the $25 security deposit into my ordinance, please?
Tiffany, who's gonna pay the $25 security deposit?
Let's leave it to we'll put down the deposit and come to the bill.
Is there, are there forms
Yes,
for the security deposit
Yes.
in place?
yes. Would you like to see them?
Why don't, go to page 3. At the bottom, where it says the owner, occupant, tenant, where it says required to register.
Okay.
After that sentence that says that, last line, it says on file with the village. See where that is?
Yes.
Add the sentence, $25, it's actually a security deposit, must be paid to the village at this time.
Page 3. Page 3. And a great page.
Stan?
Do we need to add anything in it because of security deposits? Then maybe an overreact and then we have a lieutenant. I'm being transferred. I've lived here in Dolton. I'm leaving town next week. I'll come in here on Friday and say, I need my money back today. We need to put something in there that says we have 15 days of my money back.
We can add it in there, but if they owe the bill, then I know we can $25 back.
I want to try to eliminate the potential of somebody coming in and saying, I want my money now. I want it.
I think that when somebody comes in to settle up, I think that can be handled administratively. If they come in to settle up, that is fine, okay.
How about non-refundable if not paid, bill paid in full?
I don't think we need to fill it.
Now, what the attorneys are saying, that's fine. Just when bring it up.
Just won't get it.
Yeah, I'm making a big plus $25. Especially you say the $25 deposit must be paid for the village at this time.
Get a second?
Second.
There's a motion for the,
Just leave that alone.
okay, it's been, motion to amend it for the security deposit $25 and $7. Any further discussion? No further discussion, roll call.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes, vote to amend it. Now we need a motion to accept. Actually, it's a voice motion, just start discussion.
Well, now there's a, why don't we just go with the ordinance?
I would like to make a motion to vote. No, I would like to make a motion.
It's amended, so we can just take a vote now.
Oh, okay.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes, motion carries as the whole ordinance as a whole as amended. Okay. Mr. Irvin?
Next item on the agenda would be letter E. This item was submitted by trustee Bendel. It was discussed at the committee of the whole. It was not favorably moved forward. Trustee Bendel requested it be put on the agenda, which by ordinance she has that right to do. I would turn it over to trustee Bendel to maybe explain in greater detail what she's attempting to do with this new ordinance.
Okay. We had a 6-month window to purchase our stickers. At that time, people were purchasing stickers for 6 months. What I heard was some people didn't know how many senior stickers they should get. One of the things this does is a little bit of housekeeping to clean it up. Each person owning a vehicle that's a senior gets one senior discount and $5 per car. It used to be one senior per household. So it's actually going to be, if a husband and wife is there, each one gets one. Okay. The other thing is that if you didn't purchase the prior sticker for 6 months, just the prior sticker, you would have to pay for the sticker because it's not right for the people who purchased their stickers for the 6 months and people who thought 6 months is no big deal, I won't get it, they still have to purchase it. Next year, if somebody comes in to purchase their sticker and don't purchase their year sticker, they have to purchase their year that they're in the village. It's right that they've got their car going onto the street and their car is coming back into the home, and it's fair to everyone that's in the village. That's why I did that, to clean it up a little bit.
If I may add to that, with the clerk's office, we have contacted the Secretary of State's office early on, back in, I'll say late December, early January, to obtain the list of Dolton registered vehicles from the state of Illinois. So that as trustee Bendel says, they come in, we will be able to merge that list with who owns vehicles by the state license plate registered in Dolton to our list of who bought vehicle stickers. And as I'll use the word cycle, we can then, with the adoption of this ordinance, charge the people for the previous cycle. And we can only go back one cycle period. In this case, as trustee Bendel just said, 6 months. Next year this time, it would be a year. We will also be aggressively going after those that did not purchase stickers. We will not wait until they come in to buy their sticker. At the end of the selling season, as I believe Clerk Dugan said the extension is through July 15th, we will generate a letter to those residents that own vehicles that we know are registered through the state, giving them a certain time frame to come in and buy their sticker. Otherwise, they will be notified they are in violation and pretty much they bought a ticket. This would be helpful in making everybody pay their fair share to drive on the roads of this town. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
You want to go back. That's
Six
my
months.
thing.
6 months.
What if there were
We don't go no
circumstances? What if there were circumstances and a person didn't have a job, or whatever the case may be?
Trustee, I might answer that. I understand.
Why don't we get a motion and then we'll go.
Just say about the meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the village sticker ordinance.
Second, get a second. The motion and second to approve the amending Title 6, Chapter 1 of Dolton Code relating to motor vehicle license. Any discussion?
I make a motion to table this back to committee until we can really have this down packed to where it's better than this, especially if we have this. Oh, that's enough. Motion to table. Second.
Excuse me, trustees, a motion to table or a motion to?
Motion to table to committee.
There's a motion on the floor though.
Table township.
Okay, no further discussion. There was a second. Table. Okay. Third.
Well, roll call on the table.
We'll do roll call, sir. Roll call.
On the motion to table to committee, trustee Bendel,
No.
trustee Pearson,
No.
trustee Smith,
Aye.
trustee Hunt,
No.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Henry.
Aye.
No.
Motion fails. Turn to the vote.
Make a motion that we,
Motion's already on.
I got a comment. I was going to try to answer trustee Smith's. Okay.
This is a way for us to collect what's rightfully due to the village. I mean, we're in a financial situation. It's not totally about finances. It's totally about the living of the residents and the purchase of goods. So it's done in other communities where they go back. If you owe for a village ticket, you can't get any license in the community. So some communities go back, like the city of Chicago, they go back 3 years. We're asking to go back 6 months. And it's only a $20 fee. So, okay, roll call.
On the motion to approve the ordinance, trustee Bendel,
aye.
trustee Pearson,
Aye.
trustee Smith, no, trustee Hunt,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
No.
trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-3.
Okay. Third.
Item F on there, the old business is to enact fees for health inspections for establishing, selling food. This was brought forward by trustee Henry and collaborated with staff Sandra Phillips and Philip King. I would ask for the motion to be taken or be made to adopt this ordinance and fees.
I make a motion to adopt the ordinance. Agree.
It's been moved and seconded. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the ordinance for establishing health inspection fee. And seconded by trustee Pearson. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. The motion from trustee Henry. Sorry about that. discussion, roll call.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
6 ayes, motion carries.
Next is item G. This is a proposed administrative fee for court costs for police court. This is being brought forward by Chief Franklin, and this was a cleanup. It appears that this was overlooked in the ordinance book in the past, so we're just cleaning house and making sure we crossed our T's and dotted our I's, and would ask for support of this ordinance.
I'll make a motion that we accept ordinance 14-016.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the ordinance number 14-016 establishing administration fee in connection with traffic court violation. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes.
Next item is H. This is an item that was before this board on November 18th, 2013. It was to ratify the contract with AFSCME, which is the Council Local 22199. It is our public works contract, and this was tabled back on November 18th. The document that is attached was also presented on November 18th. It is for retro pay. It has nothing to do with the negotiations that we're in currently with public works.
I'll make a motion that we accept the contract with ASME for retro pay as written.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the agreement with AFSCME for retroactive wage increases. And this is for Public Works, correct?
Correct.
Public Works. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay, roll call.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Henry?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda is brought forward during the committee of the whole, when Mr. Brian Thigpen and myself requested the opportunity to employ 2 new part-time code enforcement officers. We were given permission to do interviews. We did interviews collectively. We have included the resumes of 2 of the people that we're suggesting are the 2 best candidates. There were several others. We get the opportunity through the budget process to hire additional candidates. We have probably 4 more that we could bring forward. We would ask for support in allowing us to bring on board these 2 part-time code enforcement officers.
Okay, can we a motion to approve the hire of the code enforcement officers to part-time officers?
I'll make a motion that we hire the 2 code enforcement part-time officers that's attached to the synopsis.
Second.
We move and seconded to approve the hiring of code enforcement officers to part-time code enforcement officers. Any discussion?
Yes, we got 2 individuals that was picked, and that we came in office, unemployment was 21%. This is definitely a position that I feel strongly if we scrub deep to make sure we get some Dolton residents at these 2 positions.
We did interview Dolton residents. We had 2 of them turn down the job. We have 1 other resident, as you and I discussed, that, as I told you, would come in 3rd place, which if we get the okay to go ahead and hire more in the future, he would be the next one to be brought on board. These 2 had the most experience.
And I feel strong that other adult resident that you said is sitting there just in case, let's bring that adult resident on.
Which one of these would you like to eliminate?
Just give me a adult resident.
So our qualifications aren't that important.
No, you didn't hear me out. I said, give me that next adult resident that's qualified.
instead of one of these two?
You got one of them is a Dalton resident and one is not.
One is
So
not.
bring on that Dalton resident and so we screw up this and get to the next Dalton resident that's qualified.
So
bring
do away with Mr.
I didn't
Curtis.
mention the name, I don't know the name.
The one that's not a resident of Dolton.
Okay, yeah, I'm on the Dalton resident in that spot there.
Was Dalton resident qualified to use South Carolina?
Not as qualified as these two were, no.
But it's qualified.
Not as qualified as these two, no. He has no experience in writing a ticket, these two did.
No offense, but I need to see a resume.
They were included
No,
in that.
no, I mean, the third person who wasn't
Well,
as
there was a
qualified.
total of 8. Did you want to see all 8 of them,
Sure.
including the 2 that turned
Yeah.
them down?
Yeah, then I don't
We'll be
mind
happy
seeing
to
all 8.
forward those on to you tomorrow.
One of the problems
If I would have known that, I would have forwarded them on today.
One of the problems that in the past we've had jobs that were filled, and I'm sure someone was a Dalton resident, but they weren't qualified. And, you know, to try to bring some professionalism to the town, you have to put qualified people in these positions. And I'm all for hiring Dalton residents, don't get me wrong. But if they don't apply, what do you do? That we only had,
Out of all the resumes we had 4 Dalton residents. We had more than 8 apply. 8 were only even considered to be looked at. But out of all of them, we only had 4. As I said, 2 of them turned down the opportunity.
There was just one Dalton left, right?
That's all that applied, yes, sir.
Well, let's try and make them successful after this position. That was one of the strong points that we put out there to help get Dalton back to work.
But we don't have a resume on it.
I'm gonna agree to hire this one Dalton resident here, and we'll work on getting this other one, paid, bring them on.
So how about we just hire 3 since it's costing to the village? I mean, we do have to look at qualifications. We just can't have people out there writing tickets. We can eventually wind up before the mark if a mistake is made.
Let's not twist the word, because what you can get out of my mouth is Dalton resident is qualified.
Oh, I
It's
understand.
not been said, bring anyone that was not qualified.
I'm just saying, if we have to, you're saying take out one of the gentleman that's not from Dalton, or you saying let's add the
No, I'm saying
other
that-
Dalton resident and make him the third voting?
Yes.
Oh, I mean,
Let's scrub it and get that Dalton resident back to work.
So you
If I
already,
got an extra
you
mile
already
for
have
that
to.
Dalton resident, let's do that.
I understand, so you already have to make a motion to hire 3 instead of 2.
I'm in agreement
So
with
now
that.
you guys. I mean, for anything that matters, I'm in agreement with you. The more, the more we get out there, we're just trying to clean this out.
If we can afford that third one from out of town, fine. But I like for them 2 Dalton residents, 1 and 2 to be hired.
I'd like to make a motion to hire 3 part-time code enforcement officers that will be cost effective.
Second.
Motion to amend.
I want to amend that motion because I think the agreement, from what I'm understanding, everybody's speaking of, is that he wants to hire from Dalton. And not, if there's someone on the list that's not from Dalton, he wants to remove them and give it to the Dalton resident, from my understanding. Is that correct? Right?
That's totally correct.
Okay. We
initially,
agreed for 2.
Right now, trustees, we have an original motion to hire the 2 as recommended in the packet. We have a motion to amend to hire 3, including the Dalton residents. Well, we have a motion on the floor and a second to do that. That's where we're at right now.
Murphy, Attorney Murphy,
Well, right, let's make sure we understand. I think that the motion that was made was, the original recommendation was, let's hire 2 people. The motion to amend was made, let's hire a 3rd person, that person being the Dalton resident, whose resume.
No, the third person was someone that's not in Dalton. I would make the Dalton individual 1 and 2.
I'm sorry, trustee, the motion.
I'm talking to the attorney. He asked the question.
And I'm clarifying the answer.
But he asked me a question.
I didn't hear your question.
Clarifying the motion.
Motion is as amended by trustee Hunt, second by trustee Pearson. As I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, either gentleman, to hire an additional Dolton resident in addition to the two individuals submittees, a total of 3 persons.
Correct. Yes, correct. Is that what you said? That's what you was asking me?
Yeah. That's the way I understood it. So the 2 people who are on, they get hired. The Dolton resident, that we just been talking about, he gets hired.
Okay,
So there's a total of 3 hired, 2 Dolton residents and 1 hired.
So can we afford 3 at this time?
Well, again, like Trustee Hunt said, it would be cost effective. Code enforcement officers pay for themselves. You're looking at hiring them at $10 an hour, I think it was. At $10 an hour, write 2 tickets, they pay for themselves. You know, I mean, it's not really a liability.
No, that's not our argument. I totally agree. We need 6 code enforcement. I totally agree. But my thing is, I want Dolton residents first because this is a job that training becomes quite easy for me.
Training is not that easy. Well, I mean, you can train them, but if you remember, you only put $3,000 in the budget for training. You know, and that's supposed to train the whole community. But what happens is, when you have a qualified person from day 1 that has experience, they can start working from day 1. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not against hiring out Dolton residents, and that's a plus. But if we want to be effective immediately, if we brought the 2 on, and then thinking originally when it was in the calendar, it was approved 4. You know, no,
We asked for 6.
We asked for 6, they approved 2. And to be quite frank, if we hired the 6 will pay for themselves. In a matter of all will pay for themselves.
If the budget competitive, let's get 6. But I like the Dolton residents to be first on the list.
Or why don't we finish at 6?
Because you were just saying, wait, I'm sorry.
I'm going to finish at 6, which will include the Dolton resident. But we still would have some highly qualified people who can start from day 1 and take direct action.
Didn't we just talk about the budget and how we only allotted $3,000 for training? So I think what we need to do is when we go back into our budget hearing, we might want to rediscuss the amount of money that we put in for training.
But it's fine, but we're talking about fiscal year next year.
Okay, but right now.
But the immediate response, the immediate thing is we can hire, I mean, right now coming out of spring into summer, there's a lot of things that need to be corrected. And it's unfortunate that you have to penalize people to make them come into compliance. But believe me, you put those code enforcement officers out, and you look at other communities that have, and you'll see the difference in your appearance in the community. So, and like I said, like President Hunt said, they cost them money to pay for themselves.
Training will be done in-house by myself as well as a few of the officers from the police department. So it literally costs me.
And that's the good thing about it, because we know you're a good trainer, and we have some good trainers in the field. That's why I say, for that lightweight, inexperienced Dolton resident, bring him on the board because we have some very good on-the-job training.
He was definitely, like you said, he was number 3, but the biggest thing we had with the Dolton employees, the Dolton residents that came, they turned us down due to the price that the job was paying. It's literally saying, oh no, I can't work for them. Sorry. We actually had, I would say it's more of a 60-40 split between Dolton residents and outside residents.
And when you get qualified people, you got to pay in order to keep them. And that's why we lose prior administration that trained other officers. We pay for the cost of training and where they're at. They work for somebody else, but we bore the expense. So you have to pay good qualified people. That's what you want.
No argument with that. So how many Dolton residents do we still have on the road that is waiting to come in?
Just the third candidate, actually. It's the third one. The others turned us down and get another interview.
So it's just 2 Dolton residents.
I would gladly accept the 3. It can only help us.
It would also allow us time to meet folks that believe in what folks are college, it was online, it was here in the village of East Hampton, continue to keep the posting. It would also give Brian the opportunity that as he discussed in his original presentation, he has come up stimulating the police department. Your town is divided into 3 sections. He suggested 2 per section, at least this would give them 1 per section, so that it would get the ball rolling, see how it goes. Then if it does work, we can come back and ask for additional. I think to start with 3 would be manageable for training.
So what is that, right? 81, 82, 83? I'm sorry. Okay, we go with 3 and 2 dog ready in first.
Well, that's the motion that's up, so.
No, it's still.
No, it's 2.
3 new hires, 2 Dolton residents, 1 non-resident.
Okay. Motion on the floor. The second.
We already got.
It was motion and second.
Clerk step up.
We just have to wait for a roll call.
Okay, we're just waiting momentarily for the village clerk to take the vote.
We have the second in charge clerk or deputy clerk or whatever the title is here. If you'd like her to take a roll call to take this one over. Thank you, Brian.
Can we take the roll, everybody?
Yes, okay.
Same I do it. Sandell.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
I'm still on my 6.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
6 ayes, motion carried. Now the village administrator. Okay. All right, Steve.
Next item on the agenda is being brought forward by Chief Franklin. He was given the authority a number of weeks, if not a month or so ago, at a town meeting to hire additional part-time police officers. He has hired 2 to date. He has brought forward 4 more. The applications are in the packet.
Okay, I'd like to get a motion to approve the hiring of 4 additional part-time police officers.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 4 task applicants for police, part-time police officers.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded.